Hello and welcome to another session of Imperium Maledictum, 3 cycles from retirement. We are with our crew on our exotic agri world, trying to track down a missing inquisitor who was chasing a missing chaos cultist. But it turns out that things are complicated and not exactly as was first thought. Of course, our group last time went out, did some things. We'll frame that up in a moment. My name is Lowell, pronouns he, him, and this session is part of Open Hearth Gaming. You can find out more about that at openhearthgaming.com. If you like these videos, there's a whole channel of my stuff, 1,000 or so sessions, or the Open Hearth gaming calendar, which we have a YouTube channel on, and there's also audio versions of all of these episodes there. So you can check that out. You can subscribe. If you're digging this stuff and you want to support me, you can go to either my itch shop or drive-through shop and buy something there. There we go. So first of all, one of the things I want to mention is I did make a slight change to the character keeper because I realized I had left it out. I did add, previously we had one column under weapons to show test. I've taken that column and split it, and now there's test and magazine, basically your ammo. Now, this game doesn't track ammo shot by shot. Instead, there are some abilities that can be used that use up ammo, like burst, spread, things like that, or fumbles and fails are ways to waste ammo and count that down. So you can figure out how you want to track your spends if you want to do a slash or you want to do something like that. But I've gone through, and I think I've gotten for everyone what the magazine rating is for your particular weapons. So just giving you a heads up on that. Just to give you a quick sense of what that means, if you have a weapon that has burst, you can, for every point of your magazine you want to spend, you get an extra success level. Spread means you can target adjacent targets, like it hits an area. If you're targeting a person, you can hit people that are nearby to them. And it can also ignore cover there. Like we have a hand flamer, which has short range, which by nature of it being a flamer is spread. And then if you have a weapon that has rapid, you can choose to do a spread, or you can choose to get advantage when you shoot it, and increase the damage by whatever the rapid fire rating is. But if you do that, then you reduce your magazine by that rapid fire rating. So it quickly uses up ammo.
I have a question.
Yes.
You put in for the sniper rifle mag of 2 and damage of 6, but in the gear tab it says it has a damage of 8 and a mag of 6.
Yes, I think I goofed that up. Thank you for checking
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm a little bit of a power gamer, okay?
No, I'm absolutely fine by that. I was going through. Oh, you know what I looked at? My eye went to encumbrance there. So yeah, perfect. Yeah. All right. So let's see where everybody is at, shall we? Hezek and Octus have just finished speaking with the quote unquote witch, and the witch has been convinced of Hezek's ability to screen out psychic eavesdropping and has informed you that they are going to be doing something with that Iron Man that is in the center of town. At the same time, Hapno is working on, to your delight, some of the machinery and stuff of the plate. They're showing you around on that. There's there's a large group of people who are seemingly interested in what you're doing, who are following behind, dogging, shadowing your steps. So you've gathered quite a crowd. But then the person who has not gathered a crowd and who, by virtue of their unremarkable talent, is sort of moving through town is Narcs. Now, we're going to do Narcs and Hapno do their actions, and at that point, we'll bring it up to the time at which Hazak, via the comms, can inform the others that something bad is going on. Does that seem like a fair way to do that? Narcs, you had suggested last time that you were going to perhaps break into Lamok's house, look around there. Is that still what you wanted to do, or you want to do something
Yep.
else? Okay.
I noted that down, and since I tend to forget things really quickly, I think if I've wrote it down, then it must be a good idea.
Okay. Then I think that, I mean, you and the group were given access. You have rooms in his household. There is a small staff that is there. It is one of the larger buildings. You won't see Lamok or that woman who seems to be the wisdom, or even that sort of like seemed to be his major servant, that Ratasibor hunchback person. Uh, but let's have you make a stealth check.
Neat.
With burglary, you have advantage.
Yeah. Advantage means I can switch the dice, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Nice. That's neat. Let's see how that goes. It's 28, so that's a success. I don't need to switch anything.
Yeah.
And I have a 50 in my skills, so I think there are some levels of success there.
Yeah, you've got
right?
3 levels of success there. So
Yay.
no one will hear you. Um, so what is it that you're looking for? What are you like trying to toss his office? Are you trying to toss his private rooms? What do you think you're starting with here?
I think I'm starting with the office, maybe finding something that seems that's hidden, right? I'm looking for a hidden compartment in a what's the name of the thing that you draw out of your desk? Drawer.
Desk
Drawer. It's a
drawer. Yes.
drawer. It's a drawer. Yes. Thank you. Sorry.
I think you will find when you get in there, there is a lockbox there, sort of clearly there's kind of a false lid on it that once you kind of pull it away, it's a fairly substantial lockbox that is sealed up and seems suspicious to you. Do you want to try and break it open? Do you want to roll tech? Like what do you think is your approach?
I
Are you
would
softer?
try. Yeah, I don't. I want to try to open it up, but without leaving a trace if I can. But if I have to roll tech, then I probably will have to figure out something else
Well,
that I
it
actually
will be
can do.
tech to get the lock open, if you want to do
Okay.
that.
Hmm. Okay, I'm not gonna shoot it yet.
Okay. Let's have you roll
Yeah,
tech. You've got a little bit of time,
yeah.
a little bit of room here.
Yeah, still, I'm not very good with that. Let's see how that goes. Oh wow, I'm 1 point. I'm missing 1 point.
Yeah. I think that the cost here for that success, since it's on the same sort of SL, is I think that it takes a while and you do get it wrenched open. Uh, but like if anyone were to check here, it would be very clear that it had been forced.
Oh well, you can go and complain to Hezek about it.
Right. Uh, Inside, I think you will find uh, a uh, clearly a set of the documents that were presented by the Inquisitor. Like they have those. Um, you will see that there is a medallion of the Imperial Faith that looks like it probably came from an Inquisitor, and you're not sure what that's doing there.
Oh, okay.
Um, But you will also find a set of sort of notebooks with some scrawled litanies and chants. And you know enough about the Imperial cult. You know what the proper forms are. You know, you've been around Inquisitors and things like this. And while they sort of sound like those, someone has done some editing, someone has done some changing on them. They
Oh no.
seem, uh, for you, borderline heretical. Clearly for Hezek, completely heretical.
I
Uh,
would take them with me and give them to Haplo because he's our lore specialist, right? And also he's maybe not quite as ready to torch the whole place for some misspelled stuff.
yeah. The other thing that's in here is a small, like, side pouch
Oh,
that when you open it up, you'll see it has some like personal effects and things like that. And the thing that you will note is it has the ID card and like travel papers and stuff for Morg Pelak, for the heretic.
oh,
Uh,
interesting.
you will also notice that this pack is very much covered in dried blood.
Oh, nice. I'm taking this too.
Okay. So you can
Yep.
pocket all these things
Yeah.
away.
And then I will take something that looks valuable.
Okay. Uh,
Just, you never know when it might come handy.
the knickknack.
Yeah, yeah, for the emperor, for the emperor.
Yeah. So, Hapno, I'm going to cut to you. Uh, they've brought you to one of these sort of uh, uh, filtration machines that helps them with that harvesting of that kelp. Kind of stands on the shoreline, and they say this has been acting up. Can you look at this? Is there something that you can do to help us?
Do not update my dog. I'm sure I can fix any problem that this machine has been causing you.
Oh, and they're very, very pleased with that. Um, would you like to make a tech roll?
Of course I am. Let me check. My tech is a 63 and I got a 62.
Okay. So yeah, I think we'll see some moments of you tinkering around with it. They keep things in okay shape. I mean, they're not tech priests. They do what they can. But the other thing around here is a lot of it is that there's a lot of water around here. So you get that humidity and corrosion. So I think you'll spend some time doing that. And then they'll say, there is another machine uh, in town that perhaps you could help us with.
And what might this machine be?
It's kind of a thing we use for ceremonies.
Do go on.
And it's a little bit old, and it is in some ways beyond our skill set.
Say less. This sounds like a worthy challenge.
Well, we hope it will be for you. Um, and they will walk you back to town, and they'll walk you in, and there's a lot of people around. And you can see that they have moved out this big thing, and you're like surprised. Um, it doesn't look like it's in very good shape. Uh, but what it looks like is a really, really old Imperial dreadnought, one of those sort of 15, 16-foot tall mecha things that clearly is not particularly functional. There's no gun mount on it or anything. And it's got a lot of scorch marks on it. Um, but they'll ask maybe if you could could see what they should be doing to like clean this, keep it intact.
Well, how did you manage to get your hands on such an old equipment? Have you made it
Uh,
pottery?
it was something that our 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 ancestors found during the time of isolation that had been left behind, and we secured it and we brought it here as a representative standing for the beneficence of the emperor.
Well, I do agree with you, and there was a better way to show off your faith than with some cold iron and machinery.
I and I think that Laymock will say, I think this is a very good way, but maybe you could take a closer look for us. And I'm going to pause right there. Hezak, what are you saying to your companions over the comms?
Um, my friends, please be aware that the entire settlement is rife with heresy. Trust no one apart from the witch. Who is not a witch. We should rendezvous as soon as possible. I have sent Octus for help. Call in.
Narks, do you affirm that you've heard this?
Yeah, as soon as I'm out of the house, because sneaking and engaging in conversations kind of like anyway, but I have a room here, so I can engage in conversations if I
Absolutely.
want. So I will say, yeah, I found some stuff myself that might interest you, Hazak. And yeah, coming.
I shall return to the middle of the settlement. Hapno, report.
So Hapno, you get this as you're standing there with Laymock and maybe a couple dozen villagers around with various farming implements.
All right, did you loud and clear?
Oh, sorry, I missed that one.
Yeah,
Say again.
Yes, Isaac, I did you loud and clear. I'll make my way to the outskirts in just a moment.
Be aware. I think they may be planning some sort of human sacrifice.
And with that, help me just like turn to Lemak. I apologize, my lord, but it seems that my compatriots have found a lead and are in need of assistance. So unfortunately, I'll need to just.
there's something I must show you before you go.
My lord, this is most urgent. It could also just.
I think you see the villagers have kind of moved to circle around. And he says, no, come over here. Let me show you. And he walks towards the dreadnought. And you see him touch the dreadnought. And you'll see that, the dreadnoughts have people in them. And you'll see the little visor thing come up. And you will see this scorched human skull inside that. And I think, like, you look up and I think you'll recognize the monocle of Inquisitor Verlac Tiberius there in the skull. why don't you call your friends to come here?
Let me just quickly check if I actually have anything in my potential equipment that could help me here. That's a no for that. Happens going to just take their communication beads, what are they called again? The walk speed,
Uh-huh.
and just and like I think like we worked like the four of us worked as a team that we like developed like some secret codes in case of situations, maybe not exactly like this, but situations where we need to like report information without being know that it's important.
Mm-hmm. That seems fair.
Yeah, so I'm just going to basically just tell or they come to Hezak and Narx that hey, you should come here and see this, but in like just like laying that kind of code that they've made to basically just say, here's like your right and the money. This town is full of heresy. Help.
And I think Hazak Narks, you will get that code that clearly that Hapno has been compromised.
Danger, danger, Canis Lupus. Danger, Will Robinson.
All right. I am mostly for a visual reference of this. We'll figure out exactly. I am going to set up some things over on Owlbear here real quick. Let's see. Yeah. Move that up.
Actually, I think that would most likely be. Well, that would be potential.
Just for clarification, Dreadnought is some kind of a tank thingy?
So with Dreadnought, if you see the like the 40K mecha that
Oh,
yeah.
okay, like a Hulkbuster.
Yes, exactly. That's in fact, the particular one that I took a picture to use of. Let me grab it and drop it in the NPC tab so that you all can see it.
And then
Insert.
you could share the map.
Yes. Net pictures, sci-fi, Imperium. There we go. All right, there's a picture of that with the cute little skull I put in it in the NPC tab. I will share screen there. And then I will. Okay. So when you get this word, Hezak, not Hezak, Narks, you're closest. Like you're in town. Hezak is kind of at the edge of town. What do you want to do?
I want to scout. I mean, lurk and scout is kind of what I'm good at, and then I will go and get on some rooftops because they're always convenient, and use I have a thing that I can use here. Where's my character? Sorry, there.
Okay.
What was it called? Magnoculars. I imagine that magnoculars are some kind of binoculars, just a lot larger.
Absolutely.
And I will use those to get an idea of what the situation is. And yeah.
I think this is a simple stealth roll. You have advantage on this.
Okay.
because of your abilities.
Yeah.
What we'll do is
Nice.
we'll have you roll.
Oh, it's not good.
Now, the
That's
good
not
thing
good.
is that your fate refreshes at the start of every
Oh, you're
session.
right. I can re-roll this. I will, because I mean I've got advantage. It's pretty good idea, I think, to re-roll it. Yes, it's a 9 then.
Okay, absolutely. So the link to Owlbear is in the
Yeah.
Lines and Veils. So you will be able to place yourself kind of on whatever rooftop you want. You will see that there
Where?
are groups of these villagers. You see that
Mhm.
Hapno is kind of penned in
Oh.
by this mob. And there is this big old scorched dreadnought in the middle with a former inquisitor stuck in the body of it.
Oh, okay. I think we found him.
Yeah. And
Okay.
the other person that you see that's of note, that kind of standing, that is watching, is that hunchback, Lamok's butler, but he doesn't have a hunchback.
Oh.
Um, so I think you can get yourself into position, set yourself up, kind of scan around with the binoculars and assess that situation. And you're not seen in doing that. The one person who I mentioned is using a little less subtlety is Hezak. Hezak, what do you do?
I think if you look on the map, there is a street running into the center of town.
Uh-huh.
And I think that as the camera has picked up on narcs, crouching behind a chimney or something, observing this, we hear the sound of a great hammer being dragged along the ground. Because I can't lift it because my collarbone is still broken. But I can make an entrance with it. And
Okay.
so, and I am reciting psalms using the loud hailer. And disturbing voice. The way you speak is unsettling, and to some frightening. You gain +2 SL to presence, intimidation.
Here's what we're
Those
going to
of you,
do. They have home field advantage. They have superiority right now. What I'm going to say is have you do is you can essentially through the noise and the clamor and what you're doing, essentially negate that. Like you can crack their resolve if you roll well and take away some of their advantage.
Is
that
there a way
works.
to support this action by laying down some random or not so random fire?
I don't think so because I think he already has advantage on
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Uh, um, but you're going to have a moment here to in a moment you'll be able to lay down as much fire as you wish.
Oh.
Hezek.
So, presence, intimidation. Loud hailer broadcasting across the village. People of the settlement, return to your homes now, and the Emperor's mercy will be granted. Remain on the streets, and you risk his wrath. Percentile 4. Oh,
That
4.
is a 4. So like there are a lot of them here, and they were kind of standing there with that full like reverential we are here. But I think that the noise is that the hammer, all of that, we will see the certainty of them crack for the mobs.
Because if I'm right, I think that because 04, I take that away from, that's the 0 from the 57 is 5 successes.
Yeah.
And the trait gives me another 2, so 7 successes.
7 successes, yeah. You have reduced their resolve. You have removed their superiority. And in fact, I think with that 7 successes, I will give you a level of superiority.
I'm wondering if, with their attention on me, there's an opportunity for Hapno to exploit their quavering.
Hapno, what do you want to do?
Well, the issue with Hapno is that Hapno seems to be pretty not so great in a fight. So I think perhaps, and I'm not sure if this can work, but Raymak wanted Hapno to check out the Dreadnought. So I'm thinking perhaps Hapno, taking this moment, is going to go check out the Dreadnought and see if they can maybe like restart it, fix it to basically have it on their side for this fight.
Okay. So kind of leap up onto the dais, the stand that this is on, kind of climb up, grab open a panel. Let's have you make a tech roll. I think this is pretty challenging.
Okay. I got a 50. That's a success.
So that is a success. So I think that you realize that there is basic power in this thing, that you can get it to move, but to do that, you're going to have to climb inside it.
Now, I don't know too much about Fort Cador, but I do know about the Dreadnoughts because I think I saw some like artwork. Getting into Dreadnought isn't very pretty.
Yeah, this is a basic one. It's essentially it's going to require a a athletics test to climb up and get in there, and either push aside the previous body, or push it off to the side or push it out. Does that seem like a fair challenge there for you?
My athletics is only 30, so that is going to be quite a challenge, but I feel like it was maybe like fun because the other option is basically just to maybe like use it as a shield and just shoot, but I feel like if this goes well, it will be really good.
Yeah. And when you go to make the roll, I will give you advantage because you've got your augmented leg and arm. I think this is as much as anything a kind of a strength check to the athletics. Um, uh, so I'm going to come back to you. You figured it out. You figured out what you need to do. You need to climb in it. Narcs, uh, you see like all the eyes turn to Hezak. And you see Hapno, start working with the dreadnought and then move to clearly start manipulating things.
Cool.
What do you want to do?
I want to shoot the mutant.
Okay.
I think
Uh,
that, I mean, maybe Lamarck is more dangerous, but you never know. Mutants are creepy.
they are. Then let's have you roll
Uh-huh.
to hit with ranged.
Ranged. Where's my ranged? There's my ranged. Okay. And did I have time to aim?
Let's give that to you. So we'll give you
Cool.
advantage.
Cool. Let me see there. I have a thing. When I aim, I gain +1 SL. So,
Okay. So we
yay.
got +1 SL from that. You've got
Okay.
it with advantage.
Neat. It's a 54. I can switch that around to a 45, which gives me 2, I think, plus
Two
the
success-
1 gives me 3.
3 success levels.
Yep.
And what's the base damage on that?
8.
8.
Still my
So
sniper rifle.
11.
Yep.
So that will hit, and you will see him stagger back away from that. You'll see this arm come over his shoulder, and reach to plug the wound. He is not down, but he is very badly wounded.
Oh,
And they're gonna go. So let's start with a couple of these mobs moving to engage you, Hezak. They are going to, this is essentially just kind of a mass rush on you as they are going to try to uh, harm you. You may make an athletics test to push this off, but your collarbone is broken. So I am going to give you disadvantage, but you do have the +3 success levels. So let me roll.
And so athletics. Is athletics my only option?
What else would you use? Do you want to use your weapon skill?
Well, that's what I'm wondering at the moment. I'm just thinking about.
Yeah, because you can use that to fight off melee.
Well, because I'm thinking of laying down the flamer.
Flamer, we'd have to switch that out on your turn, I think, at this point. But
Fair enough. No, I'll go with athletics.
Okay.
Just to avoid being taken down.
Sure.
So athletics is 31.
you can do it.
And that is either 73 or 37. So neither of those will do me any good.
Okay. So 37 means you missed by 1. But you've got the extra rolls there. I roll for them. So they are going to do some damage to you here. You are going to take, do you have armor?
I have 2 armor, my leather,
2
heavy
armor.
leathers.
So you are just going to take 4 points of damage there, as essentially they are beating you with farming implements and clubs, kind of in that thing. There, it's less organized, more we have to kill him as fast as we can, or that they're going to murder us. Let's see the other mob. A couple of them will move up there. Ratsibor will get behind that, and you will see this purplish hued flame start up from where the mutant is at, and he lets loose with psychic energy at you.
Oh, no.
Narcs. You may make a will roll.
Me, okay.
Yes.
Will, that's a stat,
That
right?
is.
Okay.
It is I think it's willpower is
It's a stat.
a stat. Yes.
I'm not very good at that. But you never know. Come on, guys, be nice to me. Please. No, you're not. Okay. Fair enough. No, I don't make it. Not at
Okay.
all.
So you are going to take 6 points of
Ooh.
damage
Ow.
as
That's
the
a lot.
blaze of that psychic energy washes over you. He took some of the pain from his wound and threw it down the line at you. And your head is kind
Ow.
of shaken.
Yeah, that hurt. That really hurt.
Yeah.
Ow. I imagine that armor is not very helpful against that.
Not against this, no.
Yeah.
Hapno, I'm going to be incredibly generous, and I'm going to allow you to roll tech to resist them trying to drag you off of this thing. Does that sound fair?
That sounds very generous, to be
Those
honest.
augmented arms.
Yep. It seems like the best way to handle that.
Happens Iron Grip at 27. That's a success if we're using my tech stat.
You've got that. I think with my roll here against them, I think you are just barely pulling yourself out. You're grabbing onto the handholds. They're holding onto your boots, and you are pulling yourself up and out and away from them, getting up. But they're sort of surrounding the dreadnought. Narcs.
Yeah, oh wow, that hurt. I can move and shoot both, right?
Yes,
So I would like to move into Hesek's zone because he's a blank, and I think I have the experience that that helps against psychic attacks. I would,
absolutely.
and I would still be on the roof though, over here. This is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to drag my picture here, but I can have still line of sight on the psychic guy, right?
Absolutely. So this will give you significant resistance to the psychic attack if
Mhm.
he gets a shot off it.
Well, I need it.
He suffers from disadvantage targeting my zone, someone in it, or someone, or if they are made within short range of me.
Yeah, they are. Narcs is now within that range.
Yeah,
Uh,
that was a good call. I should have done that before, but I forgot that people have psychic powers, which is fine. Narcs is not the most intelligent person, and the other spot was better for lurking. So, but I still get to shoot him, right?
Yep.
I mean,
You can take
okay.
that shot at Ratzibor.
Okay, I will try that. Come on, dice. Now would be a good time for a good roll. No, I miss, and I miss with it's a fumble. No less.
So you still have
Oh wait,
two
I have
fate left.
fate. Yes, I have fate. No, I'm not fumbling this. I'm rattled, but I'm not that rattled. Yeah, that's better. So I get, I think, 3 successes.
3 successes,
Yeah, I mean
plus the base
61.
damage of 8,
Yes, you're
11.
still at 11. Yeah.
So I think that is like he has stood up, he's let loose with that. There's a cackle, then there's just the smooth sound of your sniper rifle firing again, and there'll be the twitching of 3 arms as that thing like staggers backwards and drops. You now have superiority 2 because you've killed a named character.
Yay!
As that thing drops, and I think you'll hear Lamok cry out, "No!"
Oh, I will
Hazak.
shout back, yes!
Hazak, your action.
Unleash the flames of the Emperor's wrath, given that they did not disperse as I politely requested. So this is Flamer.
Yeah.
Now, did you say that I could use up one of my mag in order to attack multiple targets?
You could, if you want to spend your mag, you can spread that out amongst both those mobs.
I think that's worth it at this point. So I'll reduce that to 1 of 2. And reflexes ranged is 25, but I get 1 extra. Sorry, what is it? Plus willpower, isn't it? So that's +3. Yeah.
So you get +3 success
Oh,
levels.
+4.
+4.
My will is 47, so
Okay.
I get +4 success levels.
Let's have you roll.
93. I will spend a fate to re-roll that, given
Yes.
that I am fated.
Now, you have rolled exactly the same number, and this is a rule I've always obeyed, which is if you roll exactly the same number, you will roll again when you do a re-roll. That is a long-standing rule.
Oh, that's a 50.
That is a 50.
But in what circumstances can I flip these? I can't remember.
Right now, you've got if you have advantage, you don't have advantage, but you do have the bonuses from the success levels.
Yes.
4, 6. So you've got 6 additional levels right now. And what's the base damage on the flamer?
The base damage on the flamer is 7.
Okay. So tell me what that looks like when you pull that out and you incinerate this mob of people, both of them.
I think that they've been battering me, and then the flamer comes up and the little igniter comes on, and they everybody looks at the igniter and it comes down, and then
Well,
I love the smell of napalm in the morning. It smells of victory.
it will light up that alley that will pour out from there, and that both those mobs are gone in an instant. The heat kind of washes up to where you're at, Narks, but the edges of the building are probably now catching on fire.
I think it would be nice if we got some buildings aflame.
Yeah, maybe
Ah.
not the buildings I'm currently on,
Oh, I
but
hadn't thought of that.
okay, I get it.
Hapno, let's have you make that roll to get in. To be athletics with advantage to get in and get control of this thing.
Okay, let's do this. That's a 46. I'm going to spend one of my fate to just zero this because I probably should. Okay, I got a 4.
So that's a critical with that low range there. So I think we'll see you grab on and slide down into this thing. What do you want to have it do? It's a
Yeah, you
little
did.
crunchy in here. Like
Mm,
it's a little compressed. Just having to
yeah.
push the charred bones aside. The head's kind of sitting on your shoulder.
Well, did you mention that the weapon systems were basically taken off it? It doesn't have any weapons, but it can probably still move. So I'm thinking perhaps in this mech, happen to just like pilot it towards Laymak and just do a little a smack with the Dreadnoughts like a big robot hands.
Absolutely. Let's do that attack as a tech roll.
Would that be, I'm guessing, melee?
We'll do it with your tech skill for this.
Okay, so I need to beat a 63. That should be easy. A 38.
38. So that will be by 3 successes. So I think you can charge forward and your arm will come up and it will hit Laymock, clearly wounding him. He's not out, but I do think he is thrown to the ground, like he is prone on the ground when that comes. And I think there is a gasp from everyone as the Iron Man begins to move. And we will come back around to Narks. You'll see that Hapno in the dreadnought smashing off of that die, sent Lamok flying. People are like panicked. What do you do?
Um, I think I will maybe get off the burning house right now because I don't want to be fried. I can move and both move and shoot, right?
Absolutely.
So I'll move back over here. It was nice over there. There's no psychic around, hopefully. And I will shoot at, I don't know, mob number 3. I will use my auto pistol because this is a mob and a sniper rifle and a mob that is kind of not good. But the auto pistol has rapid fire, so I can just go boom, boom, boom at them.
Absolutely. Let's have you
And,
roll to hit.
and how do I rapid fire it? Do I need to spend a point of map there? Or...
So when you do the rapid fire,
Or is that
you
just
can gain advantage on the roll, and then
oh,
whatever the value is of the rapid fire, you spend that in ammo, and it increases the damage that you do.
I see. Or maybe this is just window dressing, right? Because a mob is one enemy, and I need rapid fire to hit multiple enemies.
Yeah, well, essentially, it'll
Okay.
carry over into that area and cut down a
Okay.
number of them.
Okay, let's see how that goes. I'll just try it. Yep, there's a 37. That is like 3 successes, right?
3 successes, and what's the damage on the auto pistol?
5.
5. And if you want to rapid fire, What's the rapid fire number on your gun?
3.
3. Okay, so that's it. So that would be a total, when everything is said and done, of 12. And each of these mobs, mob 1, 3, have 6 hit points. So I think that we will see you pop up from your position and just lay fire into that area where the mobs are at, and you will just mow the villagers down.
Okay, I'm good with that. Bye, villagers. And do I need to spend some mag for that?
So what it will cost you 3 from your magazine.
Okay, then my gun's empty and the villagers are dead. I think that's good.
It feels like a good trade-off there.
Right.
Hezak, gunfire from narcs from the rooftops blazing down in, and then you see that machine step off the podium, and now you have a terrified Lamok, citizens wondering where they're going to run to, and a dreadnought that is standing on him. What do you do?
I will intimidate them into submission.
Let's have you roll to finish off their resolve.
So presence is 57. So, and I think I will, once per session, you may add your willpower bonus in SL when I am interrogating. Oh, interrogating, damn. No, I should have righteously struck them earlier. No, so the faith, imperial faith is not much use to me here. Okay, here we go. That is 70. I think I'll spend another fate.
Okay.
52. That is success by 5.
So
that's
it's 0, but you've got the bonus from
the critical. That's +4.
I think that we will see one of the, like, half the remaining mob take off. The others are that kind of, hard dedicant, standing by their boss there, trying to pull him out from underneath Hapno's foot right now.
So that's 7 in total, given the disturbing voice.
Oh yeah, you've cleared the route. There's the bodies that have been hit by the bullets. There is the char of the building. Hapno, you have this Lamok underfoot. What do you want to do?
I do not want to finish him because we need answers. We need to know what's happening. We need to question him. Plus, we're part of the Inquisition. The Inquisitors interrogate. We need to have an interrogation scene at least once. So, yeah, I'm gonna leave Laymak there. I don't think he can just get away. But the mob has decided if they aren't going away, so I'm just going to input a few clicks to the giant terminal and just smack the mob besides them.
Perfect. That is
spotting red flies. Because
oh yeah.
This map more like it cannot do anything to this dreadnought.
Let's have you make a tech roll.
At 27.
Oh yeah. So it's a step or two, and the arms swing wide at these few fools who are attempting to hold the line, and they go flying just in all directions as you swing this body around. And then I think it's just the sound of a few groaning, people crying at their wounds, Lamok kind of held in place. and the crackling of fires in the distance. And it gets very quiet very quickly.
Yes, particularly the groaning, because I move among the wounded, stunning them, ready for them to be chained and returned for questioning.
Narks, anything you are doing?
Yeah, I'm getting down. Maybe reloading the auto pistol just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, look how Lamarck's doing. I mean, he can't be very healthy, but neither are we. So
Yeah, there's some Hapno took some wounds there, I believe. So did you.
yeah,
Actually, I don't think Ravno took any wounds.
Oh yeah, that's right.
no,
You
no, not the
uh
most. That's good. The medic shouldn't have wounds. No, Hezek is wounded, but that's Hezek.
let's take our break here. We'll come back. We'll go through kind of the healing
Mhm.
wound process and move forward with the the questioning. So take 10 and we'll be back.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you have any XP left over, spend that now. The talent like requirements won't apply because we're still considering that part of character creation, but any XP you get at the end of this particular endeavor, you will have to look at the talent requirements. Um, Also, as a secondary thing, so you may recall that the most advances you can have in any particular skill is a basically a plus 15, the three advances. Uh, you can uh, uh, and this is probably more effective once you've gotten something up to that third level. You can buy a specialization with that skill, like presence parentheses interrogation, and you can buy up to 3 advances in specializations. So that's applicable for using particular weapons or things like that. There are a list of specific example, and I don't think they're example. I think they're actually specific specialties that are listed for each skill. So I will put the skill section description in the folder so folks can look at that. Um, so we will take up in the village. Uh, I think by the time that all of this is done, you've got a mix of probably half the villagers remaining who are sheltering in place, hiding in their houses, clearly pretending that they don't know anything about these ceremonies, uh, and another half that have fled out into the hills and the farmlands around here.
Is it possible that we could use Octus to track them down so we could ignore the ones that have escaped the village for now?
That seems fair. It seems fair to do that, especially if you're willing to have Octus use your patron's ability and essentially call in the witch hunt
Yeah,
uh, just to help get boots on the ground to round them up.
yeah, I think that's
The
cool.
the notable person who is missing is that woman that you met, who
Yes,
seemed to be
Fior.
an associate of the leader. She has vanished in all of this. But we take up in this Hapno. It's pretty clear to you, like when you finally get this Iron Man opened up, uh, that they have been using this, basically putting people in here and setting it on fire. Uh, uh, and It will take a while to clean it out. This thing is very old. It's ancient and it barely working. The only reason it is working at all is because they built them very simply, very basically back in those days. So how do you want to approach what you do next? You've got everyone, secured. You've got Laymock. Um, what questions do you want to put to him?
I think like maybe perhaps before we begin interrogation, like Hapner is going to take this skull of Tiberius like from out the Juggernaut and just like hand it over to Hezak. Because I think you'll want to keep this.
Oh, we have to
He's one of
return
yours.
this. Absolutely. The
And-
Yes.
Inquisition, no skull left behind.
The little flying skull is taking pictures of it.
And there's no polite way to put this. You got you to look like a shit, and I need to just patch you up before we can do anything else.
Yeah, I've got a
And-
headache, like I don't know, some Fridays in a row, and I also have information and this thing, and I'll show you what I found, these things, and I also have a headache, if I haven't said that.
No problem, Max. I'll get you patched up right away.
Oh, that's
And-
nice.
And
I
my
have
and my intention with this is basically just to help patch up Nax and Hezak, and while happily doing that, they can question Laymak if they wish to do so.
Absolutely. I think that what is your skill with that?
My medicine skill is at a 58,
Okay.
and I do have the field Medicaid talent, which makes it so that a test to heal character cannot be harder than challenging.
Okay. See, I don't think we would need to necessarily have you make a roll. I think you can do that healing. But what do we see? Like what is the when you have them sat down when you're doing this? I mean, is it oh, Hezek demurs.
We are still in the field. My recovery is unimportant.
Mine
And plus
isn't.
4 success levels is too much to give up until we are home.
Alright, I guess the next time I'll be patching up, it's probably going to be to just hack off your mutated limbs and replace them with augmented ones. Okay, got it.
Yeah, there is a bit I imagine at this point, Hezek, because you've had that broken collarbone for a good day and a half now, that you are starting to get that little bit where your ears are ringing a little, you're a little muddied headed. You're like, I'm going to fight through this. I'm going to do that. But so what do you do for narcs? Is it supplying medicines? Is it something else? They've clearly taken some psychic damage. What is the Medicaid treatment for that, you imagine, Hapno?
And if you don't have any idea, narcs will suggest happy pills. Happy pills are the best.
Yeah, okay, so what I imagine is how I just basically give like taking basically a quick look just to make sure there's no any physical injuries. Upon seeing that it's more the psychic damage, now I'm not too familiar with what Caroline actually does come to the medical treatment,
Mm-hmm.
but I imagine that perhaps because we are the Inquisition, we sometimes have to deal with hunting down psychers. I imagine that perhaps we've got like some kind of like a shot
Okay.
who can help with recovery of the like mentor rules to help us.
What
And
do you imagine is the, like, when you give them the shot for this, what do you imagine the short-term side effect is? Is it ringing in the ears? Is it hallucinations? Is it smelling something weird? Like what these drugs have to have some wildness. So what do you imagine that is, Hapno?
I imagine that the side effects for this, as this that's to do with the psyche, is going to basically be just like this splitting headache. I imagine, and yeah, might be just me, but like I'm imagining that like this syringe, like for this is kind of like three pronged, and it like has to be like applied, maybe like to like the back of the neck.
Oh, can I just have the pills, please? I already have a headache.
So I think it's unpleasant, but Narks, you will recover your wounds over the course of the next few hours.
They
Okay.
didn't put that plate in the back of your neck for nothing, Knox.
Yeah, I know, but still. I had a medicare who gave me just pills. I was fine. I was fine. I saw little flying squids, but that was just, they were very funny. Anyway, ow.
Yes,
So,
those
Thank
pills,
you.
those pills can help you temporarily, but unfortunately, the side effects of just seeing things, especially out on the field, is not preferable to
I
the
only
just.
shot one of them. Didn't even hit anyone important.
You killed a mutant, Knox. You must never underestimate the importance of taking them out, albeit one at a time.
I have. I
Hey, like that mutant displayed psychic abilities.
yes.
Is was he on the list of known psychos?
You'll understand, Hapno, that the warp and all its wonders are a mystery to me.
Hmm.
Yeah, it gives me a headache. That's what it does.
so
Enough of this. Bring in the prisoner.
so you will bring in Laymock. Um, he sits, kind of doesn't meet your eyes. Um, what is it you want to know from him?
Am I right in thinking that Hapnos, while inside the machine, trod on his leg or something?
Yeah, he got knocked back significantly. He's got bruising on him from that
Um,
significant smash.
so I think I asked Hapno using his Medicaid, um, how would you press on that to make it hurt a great deal, Hapno?
We will make interrogation rolls, but we do not inflict pain on prisoners.
Okay,
That is a
okay.
line
Oh
for
yeah,
me.
sorry.
No,
Yeah,
that's
it's
okay.
one of
No,
our
no.
rules.
I
I
know we're
apologize.
in 40K and it kind of feels weird, but that is one of my,
No, that's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
That's fine.
Um,
It is the joy of having lines and veils.
so
So
yeah, you'd use the procedures,
that are
and
available
he
to
is
us.
willing to talk.
Yeah, because I kind of want to demonstrate that any discomfort he is feeling is nothing compared to this.
Yeah, it makes a popping sound every time you do that, and I think everyone winces.
Um, and I think all told, I think I will have my one use of faithful per session
Hmm.
to add my willpower bonus when interrogating a suspected heretic. Suspected, Laymack.
Well, he's
Uh,
pretty suspect.
and another 4 for the existing martyrdom, and 2 more for the disturbing voice. So I want to interrogate him with an extra 10 levels of success.
Let's have you make that roll.
I want to fillet him like a fish.
Okay.
Let's have a look. Interrogate presence. There it is, 57. Let's go. 28.
Yeah.
So that's
So
13 levels of success.
he will spill everything. He tells you the story of, like, the planet was isolated. We were cut off from the Imperium. We kept, putting together the imperial tie, but we never heard from them. And crops began to fail. Things went wrong. And there came a prophet of the emperor who told us how we could regain the emperor's favor. The only way to do that was to draw his eye and his attention by sacrificing a representation. Those people, those servants of the emperor who most represented him. And it becomes clear over time that they sacrificed a number of local inquisitors, and then had the opportunity to get an even bigger fish when that chaos cultist came here, and they used that to lure in the inquisitor that you were looking for.
So just to be clear, Ratibor was a local mutant.
Yes.
And when we're talking about this chaos cultist, we are talking about Morg Pelak.
Yeah, the heretic who escaped to here.
Yes.
But who's the prophet?
I will tell you, Ratibor, he traveled, he represented, he traveled around and revealed the truth to us. He to others, he revealed a false truth, but to us, he revealed the real truth.
He's a mutant dude.
He is the representative of the emperor's faith. That our crops.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Be very careful, Lamach, when you take the emperor's name and his faith and attach it to that gesture to Ratibor's body, which is, hung from the back of the door.
We hungered for the blessing of the emperor, and we did what we needed to do
Oh,
to gain
it's always
his
someone else's
favor,
fault.
to gain his favor and to gain his blessing, and our crops were bountiful.
Indeed. What of the people in the forest?
Which do you speak of?
I think you know that there are people in the forest.
I know that there are some who did not believe us and fled away. I suspect that the witch has been helping them. And then there are cultists of the harrower in green, kind of spits, who is a false idol, does not understand the true way to gain the emperor's favor.
Oh, one further question.
Just one more thing.
What of the local wisdom?
She has gifts like like Ratsibor. She's not a mutant. She is a psyker.
Where is she?
She's not here. She has fled out into the woods. She was terrified of you.
So she should be.
Mm-hmm.
If only you, Laymac, had been appropriately respectful when we had arrived, then all of this might have been cleared up differently.
We only had respect for you. We knew, we could tell that you were a true representative of the Emperor.
And
And
gestured
your
out the window.
sacrifice would have given us blessings for season after season.
I think that this man is beyond redemption.
Yeah, I mean, they say that in the blood of martyrs is the blade of the Imperium made strong, but not like this, my friend. Not like this. Not by
I think-
burning them in this old thing. Because a martyr, my friend, I think I've learned that a martyr gives his life willingly. That's kind of the catch here.
I can agree with you, Isaac. I think
Um,
Laymac will be too far gone. I mean, burning you would give them 24 fruitful seasons. I don't believe you could still like even a single fruitful season if they burnt you.
Now, I have influence 1 with the ecclesiarchy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering how I would arrange for a representative of the ecclesiarchy to be posted here to put the population as a whole back on the straight and narrow.
So that would be I think probably a rapport role to make contact. That gives you potentially a success level when you call in your favor there.
I think I do this by in writing,
Okay.
transmitting it, because I get -2 SL to fellowship tests because of my voice.
Yes.
So there is a flip side to this. So I think that that I will contact my and I'll come up with a name for my contact in the ecclesiarchy
Sure.
in a little while.
Why don't you make that roll?
Yeah. So 35. I don't think there's anything to play on that, apart from. No, I don't think it's appropriate to play the broken shoulder.
Right now.
28. Oh, 6.
6.
Look at that. Wow.
So you will write a surprisingly moving letter to your contact within the thing that they need to dispatch a band of mendicants here to oversee that there are a host of cultists of all kinds here who are merely astray rather than being full heretics, and people need to be here to deal with that. Narks, what are you doing?
What am I doing? I am I don't know. I'm polishing my gun, lurking around,
Getting
the
that-
usual. Getting
Absolutely.
that ringing out of my head, maybe. Trying to find something that will take the edge of it, no matter what Hypno says.
Well, they do have a lot of grain alcohol here.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Uh,
That's
yeah.
good for my gun and for me.
Absolutely. I think you will find that they have a lot of grain that they've been storing away, and some of it has been stored for fermentation, and you can certainly cut the edge and forget your hangover. It just, if it never comes, you don't have to worry about it. Hapno, is there anything else you're doing here?
Not found the note from Tiberius. So I think Hapno is going to look to the snows, because the reason Tiberius came to this planet is because of the Mork Pelak. And from what we've gathered, at least Lemak isn't working with Mork Pelak, but it still remains true that this cultist might have been here and might still be here. And it is also would be technically our job to also be like apprehend this cultist, or at least kill them. So I think Captain is going to just be like looking through the business notes that he's got, what he's found out, and seeing if they can like piece together like where Pelak might be, what might he be planning.
So I think you can tell, like you're kind of looking through, and then Narks will show you Pelek's bag, and you're pretty sure that Pelek is dead, and think you will confirm that from speaking with Lamok. But going through, there's clearly some notes. I mentioned that Pelek is part of a heretical group called the 10 Truths. And there's some notes that clearly your boss will be very pleased to have. It does suggest that there was an operation that Halak was aware of on a planet called Vol in the city of Rokarth. I'll put that in the chat. And there's a short list of names of people that the cult members plan to assassinate there. I think certainly your boss will be pleased to get that in hand.
I think our work here is done.
Where there still is the Halvorin Green and the psyker that got away, but I'm sure the Ecclesiarch can clean that up.
Indeed, I've sent a request to the mistress of the sweltering oubliette to arrange a sweep and clear to ensure that worship begins to get back on the right track very quickly.
Yes.
And Laymac, as a sop to the locals, might we allow them to sacrifice him?
I think if we say that this is heretical practice, we shouldn't maybe encourage them to continue with it. I don't know. You're the holy guy, so
Yes, that's very true, Knox. Oh well, best opportunities often missed.
I mean, we can use it as a method of execution. Just leave the sacrifice.
No, but you're right. You're right. We mustn't reinforce. We mustn't give them any sense that we think there's any truth in this business. We should, in fact, destroy that glorified toaster oven.
Isaac, that is a piece of Imperial technology. It is old. It should be studied and used in the Imperium.
Oh well, if you can carry it back, Hapno, that's fine by me.
He's moved it before.
I guess I'm just wondering, do we have anything big enough to get it off the planet?
So I do imagine that there's a cutaway of Vox Sweat, your pilot, back, like being a little uncertain about that as Hapno pilots that into the back of his plane. It's like, okay.
I mean, it doesn't have to be in the plane.
Okay, yeah, we can kind of strap it down. Okay. I think that we will see Octus come back after a couple of days You can tell he's used up a lot of his ammo, and has uh, cleansed some things out in the field. Um, and I think then we cut after the plane ride for you back
Oh, could
at,
I just, I
yeah,
would just like to have a conversation with Kate with Jalank.
absolutely. As that's getting loaded up, she is there. Uh,
Um, Members of the ecclesiarchy will be arriving shortly. I intend to tell them that you're in charge.
if you wish,
You have proven
Proven.
cooperative and loyal to the Emperor. And I think it will also be necessary to bring those people from the forest to reintegrate them under appropriate guidance.
I've been treating them medically. I will get them moved back here now that they know that they will not be murdered in their sleep.
No, they and the other misguided individuals here. There will, of course, be some retribution, but you and most of the locals welcome back to the Empire.
All right. Pretty much just want to farm, sir. Pretty much
Oh,
just want to farm.
indeed, and I know the priestess who is sending people here. She is extremely reasonable.
You see her pause, and she imagines what you define as extremely reasonable, and she goes, "Well, oh, so be it." Thank you to all of you
You're
for
very welcome.
your assistance.
Sure. Hezek, will you maybe let someone look at your shoulder before it starts to smell?
Very well.
Yeah, you're imagining what it's going to feel like in that plane with the vibration in it there. Um, so I imagine we do cut away with Hapno, you know, putting the sedative into you.
Or not.
How gently do you treat Hazak for this injury, Hapno?
So Hammond basically just goes over to Hezak, basically just like flips him out and just says, "Do not worry, Hezak. This won't hurt a little." And then he'll basically apply the medicine to actually like pop the bones back into place. And you notice that it is in fact very painful. And Hammond just says, "Excuse me, I did say it won't hurt a little, but the meant is going to hurt a lot."
Such is the will of the Emperor.
I think that's the way he likes it.
You will get Firewire has made arrangements for a ship to transport you back off. He will tell you he has heard from the ecclesiast, and he's making the arrangements, and he's to get them settled in. And he's very pleased that you were able to deal with the situation and resolve everything. And uh, 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 hope that there be no other people killed before you leave.
Oh, no, certainly not before we leave.
All right. Good, good, good.
We can make that happen.
No. There's no need. No,
Okay,
no,
okay.
no.
Yeah, okay,
No,
okay.
no, no,
I
no,
move
no,
on.
no, 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 no.
It's fine.
You can see he's worried about you murdering him
Mm,
for some unrelated
no.
reason. But
Oh, no.
he will get you set up. He will thank you again, and we'll see you all heading back to meet with your patron. So the endeavor is concluded. So you will get 300 XP. because I haven't been able to find exactly what the actual XP things are, and that's what I gave the other group when they finished their endeavor. I'm going to figure that out, but you're going to get 300 XP. So you can use that to buy new talents. If you have the requirements, you can use that to raise advances. You can use it to buy specialties. And the costs for that are let me see, where did I put those? I believe at the bottom of the talents page, we've got those numbers there.
And how does specialization work again?
Yeah. So basically, let's say that, let me take a look at your character here real quick.
Mhm.
Let's say, for example, you've got ranged of, you've got 3 advances in range, so you can't buy another one of those, but you could buy, he says, opening the book, a specialization in long guns, like las guns, sniper rifles, things like that.
Okay.
And you could buy each advance gives you plus 5%, and you put that under the specialization. So you could buy like one of those with long arms to give yourself a 66 with sniper rifle.
And if I could buy 2, because I could buy up to 3, right, with my 300 shiny USP.
Yes,
if
you
I
could.
were so inclined.
If you wanted to lean into that.
Okay, I mean that's maybe a little too much, but yeah, cool. Thank you.
So I do want to wait till we get Jay back to kind of start the next cycle. There are mechanics in the game for downtime. Basically, there are things that you can do between endeavors that will resolve. There are group endeavors and there are individual endeavors. What I'm gonna have you do next time is there are 2 endeavors, group endeavors that are useful. I'll have you pick one of those, and then I'll have everybody pick an individual endeavor. That can be investing in things, it can be making items, it can be, establishing contacts. I'll give a list of those. But it's a little downtime action, so it's kind of fun to have that. We'll play that out, and we'll have the debrief with your patron next time. He will be looking at the material on Rokarth, on Vol, and he will be dispatching you to a hive city to investigate some things there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he will be
Uh,
deep in the bowels of a place.
I'm
I mean, before we therefore finish, the final character creation trait I took was hypno-indoctrination. And I'm thinking that under the pain of Hapno's care, inverted commas, um, 2 random talents emerge.
All
And
right.
it tells me there's a table on page 74.
Okay, let me turn to that page. All right. So go ahead and roll me a D100. If you
That is-
already have the talent, you will re-roll.
It's 100.
Psyker or blank, which you already have, is blank. So
Okay. Well, do you want to switch that round rather than re-rolling? Make it 1 instead of 100.
sure, you will get your first random talent that you will get is an acute sense.
Okay.
So, and you can choose.
Okay, of pain.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a number of choices for kind of what that does. Basically, you get advantage when your acute sense would come into play.
Right. Okay. Well, because all of these talents, sorry, I thought this might be a different set of talents. These are
Oh,
the ones
no.
on the talent tab.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll look it up. Don't worry about
Okay.
it, what it is. Okay. And
And
the
then
second one,
roll me the second one.
that is 36.
36. Flagellant.
Of course it is. Oh, no more appropriate one.
Now, I'm going to say you may want to not take that one.
Oh,
because it
really?
allows you to ignore the effects of a critical wound.
Oh.
So why don't you, let's see,
Well, flip
let's
that round to 63. What does that tell us?
63 inheritor.
Oh,
Which is it in the thing? Inheritor. It
oh, an
says
heir to
it's.
a lineage.
Do you want to think about that?
Yeah, yeah. Let me see what I do with that one because it would be nice if they weren't incredibly useful.
Yep.
I mean,
You gain
I've
a.
got
It would give you a +1 with a faction.
okay, fine, that's great. Flagellant, the fates they do conspire. Thank you.
That I
I'll
I
fill those in.
I think my favorite name for any of them on here is Gothic gibberish.
Yes, I was hoping that might come up once I realized it was all the same list. Gothic gibberish. Yeah, I think I've got enough of that naturally.
So we'll do that. We'll stop there. We'll start next time with the downtime, the patron, and all that. We'll hopefully have Jay back, have Octus back for that. I would like to do quick stars and wishes, just to kind of get that, particularly things, especially on wishes that you'd like to see for your character or things you'd like to see more of. Hezek, shall I start with you?
Yeah, stars. Stars. I don't know if it's Narcs who gets the star or Narcs's sniper rifle. But the two in combination are lethal. So that's great. I loved I loved Narcs, you know, edging closer to me to get the benefit of the blank, and then edging further away as the building catches fire. That was delightful. Hapno clambering up the side of the Wicker Man while the mob hangs off your legs, kind of thing. That was great. I enjoyed that. Um, and I thought it was a cool move to activate the giant robot kind of thing. Lowell, start to you. I mentioned this in the just when you got back from the break before you started recording. Um, there's a lot of grit in this system, but you're making it as absolutely painless as possible. And I think it is the art of running gritty systems is knowing when to just leave the grit out and keep the pace going, because that's the risk in this, is that it becomes very kind of stop start stop start. But no, you're doing a great job with that. Thank you very much. And who knew that I'd enjoy Warhammer after all these years?
I think one of the things I'm glad of, and this is a weird sort of thing I have to say for myself, I'm glad I'm doing two different games of this because there's a lot of cognitive load to learn a system like this, and I'm glad I'm getting to exercise that a couple of different times, and it's making it worth it. Like I'm glad that I'm doing that. So
Yeah, and we're not at all offended that you're practicing on us before in a
yes.
couple of hours' time running the second group. That's fine. That's fine. Wishes. Um, I think I want to begin to lean into the character arc that ends up with Hapno's uh, vision of me um, maybe getting on the wrong side of the Inquisition for some unknown and entirely unreasonable reason. Maybe begin to think about how that shapes up before we finish. But apart from that, I'm just having a good time. Thank you very much. Again, I got a sore cheeks because I'm grinning throughout.
Okay. Hapno.
Alright, so for starting to be echoing a lot about what Alan said, like I enjoy like not just character and how it adjusts so little, but at the same time it just comes sort of nonchalant about it all. And I did very much enjoy like that scene of just Nox coming closer to Hezek to benefit, only for Hezek to immediately show that that might have been the wrong choice by burning the burning Devodan immediately. Let's see. Hezek, I like seeing like just Hezek like basically just like preach their imperial dogma towards like basically everyone in the comic quarter. It fits the whole Zlatan do like enjoy singing it like about. And like I said, stress to you, however, for making this as the like, most seamless experience that can be, because this system is crunchy. We've definitely like seen it like the past 3 sessions and calculation. It is a lot. You digest a lot to crunch, and you do an amazing job of just like putting it down into like bite-sized pieces for us to basically help us understand and get through it all the quicker and better. As for my as for my wishes, I don't really have any wishes at the moment. I think I just want to like see. I think I kind of like see where this lead of the like assassination attempts from this cult of 10 truths was it? I feel like that leads. I kind of want to see what happens with that. Like, will we maybe get like an escort mission because we know who the targets are, and what shenanigans more than likely will get into while trying to protect someone when it appears more clear than anything that our group is more meant for killing rather than protecting. So I think like that actually that might be like a wish, like to see like how a trigger happy team would like fare in an escort mission.
I like it. And Narks.
Yeah, me. Hey, I would absolutely know how I would fare in an escort mission. I would lurk and kill and lurk and kill. No, stars all around. This was a fun session. I poor Hop, no, stranded with all these villagers trying to Burning Man him, but he survived, which was nice. And by using this old dreadnought, which none of us could have done, I think, or Ned as well. So that was very cool. And I always love Hezek with this giant hammer, like dragging the hammer into the village. Like, I can't lift this, but you should repent, villagers, repent. Yeah, that very good use of all the talents you have. They are they work very well together, I think. Also, huge stars for all of you not minding me lurking about. I love lurking. I think I didn't think I would enjoy it that much. Anyway, so star to you, Lowell, for handling that pretty well, I thought. And the wishes, yeah, we are going to a city, right? So I I don't know. I would like for some skullduggery comes to mind.
Okay.
Like somebody else who's lurking.
All right.
Yeah.
Other lurkers. I like it. Awesome. Thank you all so much. I was glad to see that, to play out my riff on the Wicker Man for this. So awesome. I'm going to stop the recording.